Hi, in this video I'd like to do with you lesson 3, the staff, treble clef. And so at the beginning of each staff, there is a clef, the treble clef, also known as the G clef. And it's important to know when they say uh, it's the G clef, it's because this particular line is G. That's the name of that line, and it's sort of the treble clef sort of wraps itself around the G line. And I'll explain that to you in a few more minutes. The treble clef. To draw a treble clef, uh, draw the line and tail, the top loop, and then the left loop, the right loop, and then the curl. That's actually the opposite of how I do it. And of course, follow these instructions, and you'll make a fine treble clef. The next thing that this information that this sheet wants to give you is it tells you the names of the lines. Now, we've talked about in previous lessons that this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. And we've also talked about this is space 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you notice, E happens to be on the first line. F happens to be on the first space. G, if you look, G is on the second line. A is on the second space. B is on the third line. C is on the third space. D is on the fourth line. E is on the fourth space. And F is on the fifth line. So that's how they get to know the names. And notice this G, very important. This G is on the second line. If you read over in this little corner here, it says the treble clef establishes a landmark on the note G, the second line of the treble staff. So first thing they ask you to do is to try drawing the treble clef sign by tracing over the dotted lines. And so they said to do the loop first, so they said to do this part first, and then they said to do the upper loop, and then they said to do the lower loop, and then to finish it off. This is how I actually do. I do it opposite. I start here on this line and follow this way. And my treble clefs are pretty close to what they're asking for. I'm going off the lines a little bit. And so I personally draw it. So a G clef or treble clef, I draw a note there, and that's where I start. And I draw that much first, and then I keep going up and around, and then back down. And I understand that my treble clef isn't perfectly looking like that one, but the most important thing, as you notice, is the top loop is above the staff, and the hook is down below the staff. I'm going to try and draw another one. This one, I think my loops are getting a little small there, but not so bad. Draw another one. It's difficult on the screen. That one's pretty good. That one's probably my best one so far. The mistake that I've seen students do is they draw them like this. They're like too little, and or they just draw it in the middle, and but start it on the G line, and then go around. That's how you draw. It says to draw 5 of your own, so you draw 5 more of your own, and hopefully you get 5 good ones. So number 2, they ask you to draw treble clef at the beginning of the staff. So draw a treble clef at the beginning of the staff, then write the letter names of the notes. All right, so let's do that. So I'm going to draw my treble clef, and now I'm going to name the notes. You're like, well, what do? I don't remember. They're actually up here. The names of the notes are up here, so you can easily just copy. There's a couple ways to do it. Just copy off there. The other way to think about it is to know that every good boy deserves fudge, and that F F-A-C-E spells face. And so this note is on the second line, this note here. And so the first line would be E for every. The second note would be G, second line. So G, that's a G. Every good boy, so that's a B. This one here, every good boy deserves fudge. So that one is an F for fudge. Now for the spaces, it's F-A-C-E. And so that's F, that's A, that's C, and that's E. So this one is A. For this F-A-C-E, so that one is C. Every good boy deserves fudge, so that's an E. And now spaces, so we got to go to F-A-C-E. That's an E. And this is an F, F-A-C-E, so yeah, F for sure. We'll go back to the lines rhyme. Every good boy deserves fudge. That's a D. And every good boy deserves fudge. That's a G. Now it says number 3, to draw another treble clef at the beginning of the staff and draw the notes that are indicated. If a note can be written more than one place in the staff, choose one. I say choose both. So let's draw the treble clef first, and then I am going to name the notes. So they want me to draw a note G on there, so I'm going to draw G. G is on the second line. You can either do that by thinking every good boy deserves fudge, so I'm going to draw a note on the second line. The other way to do it is they do show you all the notes up here, and they name them for you. All right, so this is E, so you have a choice here. You can either say this is every good boy deserves fudge, so every good boy deserves fudge. You can draw an E here. Or if you think about it, the rhyme for the spaces is F-A-C-E. There's another E, so F-A-C-E. So I can name this as E. So both of those are E's. All right, every good boy deserves fudge. So F-A-C-E, so this is a C, F-A-C-E. And then this is every good boy deserves fudge. So D is for deserves, so I'll draw a note on D. B, every good boy deserves fudge. So B for boy. F-A-C-E, so this is an A. I'll draw that. C, F-A-C-E again, so F-A-C-E, so that's a C. Every good boy deserves fudge, so that's a D for deserves. And this one here, you might think F-A-C-E, you might think that rhyme. So F-A-C-E is for the spaces, so I'll draw a note on F. But you can also think of this F as every good boy deserves fudge. So every good boy deserves fudge. So that top line is also F. And that is how you do the worksheet, lesson 3, treble clef.